No problem. Was there another shooting somewhere else today? Did y'all hear about that? I thought I heard something about happening somewhere else today. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't today. Maybe it's a different state. Oh, there we go. Hey, it's no problem, man. Who's all here? We have channel, all of them? Fox, 2, 13? Okay, they're all here. 11's here? KHOU?
That's me.
That's you? Okay. Did you want to call Lana? Talk to Lana on the phone?
Maybe in my office.
Oh, okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm wearing a lot of hats today because I'm also helping with the investigation part of it too, like the policy part of it, the policy violation part, if there was any. So we're just trying to do a bunch of things at the same time. So I didn't want to leave you guys hanging here too long. So I appreciate y'all waiting on me, and I appreciate the patience. Apologize. Everybody ready? Okay. I'm Mike McCoy, M-I-K-E M-C-C-O-Y. I'm the captain of the Fulshear Police Department. So this morning at about 10:40, one of our officers observed a vehicle run a stop sign in the 9300 block of Charger Way. The officer initiated a traffic stop with this individual. The individual did pull over and comply at the beginning. However, during the traffic stop, it was discovered that the suspect had a felony warrant out of Virginia for dangerous drugs. The officer discussed it with this gentleman. The man got agitated and nervous and began to say he needed to go to work and that he couldn't take off from work and that he didn't want to go to jail. The officer told him that everything was going to be okay, so he had tried to approach him and say, hey, look, I'm going to put you in handcuffs, detain you while we get this sorted out. The person acted like he was sick and bent over, so when the officer went to call for an ambulance because the suspect was acting like he was not feeling well, whether he was or not, we don't know. But at that time, when the officer went to notify for an ambulance, the suspect lifted up and shoved the officer in the chest, knocking him back. From we know, again, this investigation is only 3 or 4 hours long, so we're still working out through all the logistics behind it and what happened exactly. So once we determine what happened, we'll know more. But so when the officer fell back, the suspect ran to his car. The officer tried to get him out of the car. He refused. The officer was trying to pull him out of the vehicle. And the suspect put the car in drive and drove off with the officer. The officer, fearing for his safety, being drugged, he did pull out his weapon and discharged his weapon a few times and did hit the suspect. The officer fell away from the car. The vehicle drove for approximately 800 yards or so and did end up crashing into a field and running into a tree. Officers pursued, immediately started medical on the gentleman to try to keep him alive, but unfortunately he passed at the scene. So we don't know anything other right now. The family hasn't been notified of the deceased. We do know he's a 53-year-old male, and at this time that's all we know. So right now the investigation is being conducted for transparency, as always, as protocol and policy. The investigation is being conducted by the Texas Rangers. So they're the ones, with the assistance of the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. The Texas Rangers are doing the investigation right now.
Is he from the area?
The suspect? I don't know at this time. The warrant was out of Virginia. So I don't know if he was from the area or not.
I didn't know if you had a chance to get a Texas driver's license.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at it, sir. I apologize. So I'm assuming he's from the area. I don't know. He did have a lot of stuff in his car, like fishing gear and stuff like that. So I don't know if he was living in this car or not. I don't know.
You have body cameras?
We do have body cameras. We had a body camera on at the time. We also had a dash camera on at the time. We also have video footage from the school, because it did happen right across the street from the high school and the junior high at Fulshear. So obviously we're looking at the video. We're going to have to determine whether or not, on my side, on the police side, since I'm not doing the investigation, the Rangers are doing that. I'll be doing the policy violations if there were any, and determine what happened in that respect. But right now it looks like the officer was in fear of his life, and unfortunately, had to discharge his firearm, and the man unfortunately died.
About how far was the officer dragged before he opened fire?
I don't know yet. Again, we haven't really looked at the video clearly yet. We want to see. I don't know if how far he was dragged at this time. We'll have to determine that once we look at the video.
Any injuries to the officer?
Yeah, his leg was injured, scraped up, cut up, nothing serious. He was able to get up, and they treated him locally there at the ambulance. So.
Was he the only officer on scene during that whole encounter?
Yes, ma'am. So it was just a traffic stop. The guy ran the stop sign, and so normally it's just one officer, and we pulled him over. Now, obviously, when he put out what had happened, other officers arrived at the scene quickly and helped clear the car because we didn't know if the man was still alive. He obviously was alive. He drove for a while, and then he wrecked into the field and ran into a tree, so they had to clear the car, but he was the only one in the car.
So was the door open, or how was the officer attached to the car?
So, again, we haven't determined that yet, but I will say that from what I could see and what I could tell from what the officer's statement is, the officer's statement is that the suspect got in the car, and the officer was trying to get into the car with him and pull him out because he was trying to drive off. He has a felony warrant. He was trying to get away. And so an officer had just been shoved, so he went to try to get him out, and I guess the guy put it in drive and drove off with the officer still somewhat attached to the car. I don't know how far he was attached or how far he was dragged, or if he was dragged. I just know that the guy tried to drive off with him in the car, so partly in the car.
The officer eventually detached from the car.
Oh yes, yeah, he detached, and that's where his leg. I think that's probably where his leg got injured because it got scraped up pretty good. So.
Yeah, before the car hit the tree.
Oh yeah, so basically the officer detached. The car took off, like I said, for about 800 yards or so. It made a turn, and there's a couple of turns there at the school, and went down Charger Way. And then I guess maybe the injuries, he succumbed to the injuries, or they got to him, and he ran off the road and ran into a tree in a field. And at that point, the other officers had backup. They showed up. They cleared the car. Once the car was cleared, they immediately pulled him out of the car and administered first aid.
Did the officer shoot this guy while he was being dragged?
I don't know. Again, once the video, according to the officer's statement that, the guy was trying to drive off with him in the car, so that's dangerous.
And how many times did he shoot him?
Right now, we're not sure. We think multiple times, so I know it wasn't once. We're trying to determine the exact amount. The body cam footage and the dash cam footage will definitely determine the amount of shots that were fired, but I know it was several.
You said, I'm sorry, did you say you did or did not notify the suspect's family?
No, the suspect's family has not been notified at this time. We just know that he's a 53-year-old male. Mm-hmm.
Dangerous drugs in Virginia, what do you mean?
That's what we got the call, that's what the warrant came back as. So basically, we run the person when we pull them over to determine if they have any outstanding warrants, traffic tickets, and it came back that he had a warrant out of Virginia for dangerous drugs, and that's all we know. So while we were verifying that, the officer let the suspect know, hey, listen, you have a warrant in Virginia, let's take a look at this, see what's going on with that, and at that point, the guy got a little nervous and hesitated, so that's kind of where it went downhill once he found out the officer knew he had a warrant.
So was the warrant check, is that based on the license plate of the car or his driver's license?
His driver's license. Yeah, it was a cordial conversation at the beginning of it was a traffic stop. Yeah, hey, pulled you over, run stop sign, we'll get you out of here in a minute. We go back, run the plate, run the license, boom, had a warrant, and then from there it kind of went downhill.
Sorry, what's next for the officer then?
Well, he's on administrative leave, so he's gone home. We've let him go home, and he's going to give his statements to the Texas Rangers. They're going to investigate it to determine what exactly happened. And right now he'll sit at home until we call him back to work and determine whether or not what happened exactly. We got to make sure it was done right and all the policies were followed.
Fulshear is one of the safest cities in America. How do
Yeah.
you feel about today?
Well, unfortunately, the safest cities in Texas, all over the world, I mean, it can happen anywhere. You don't know what suspect's coming into your town at any time, at any moment, and yeah, we're proud of that, but we can only go down from there. It's hard keeping up at the safest city of Texas. We want to keep it there, but unfortunately, you don't know who's going to drive through our city. So,
When's the last time you had a homicide, let alone an officer involved?
I want to say we've had another one here. So we've only had one other one. It was one in the county. I'm trying to remember how many years ago. I want to say it was 4 years ago when that female that was killing her daughters. Do you remember that? She was shooting her daughters in the street. One of our officers was the one that actually had to shoot her before she shot her daughter a second time.
Okay.
And that was the only other one that we've had.
And how many homicides have you had in Fulshear?
We've only had one in 2012 that I know of.
So this is only the second?
Well, I take that back. We did have a murder-suicide last year, but that was within a home. So it was a mother and a son, and it was a murder-suicide. But as far as an actual murder-homicide, without any suspects, we had one in 2012. Yeah, that's yet to be solved, unfortunately.
You're saying this is the second officer involved shooting ever?
In Fulshear, yes, ma'am. Mhm. Yeah.
Was the school affected? Are there any students in there? Are there any people?
You know, the school's closed for the summer, but we understand there was something going on. I don't know exactly what, but I do understand there were some students in the gym area, but I don't think they were even aware of what was going on because, again, it was kind of far away. So if you're familiar with the area, the school is probably about 800, 900 yards away from the street itself. So thankfully nothing, the kids didn't have to see that. Now there was some construction crews right there by where it occurred, building out there. They're building homes at the end of that street on Charger Way where it occurred. And there are some witnesses that, again, I don't know anything what the witnesses said, but I understand that the Rangers have already interviewed them. So they saw part of what happened.
Did you guys get like where he was coming from and going to?
I don't know that. I do not know. I did not ask the officer that. So our main concern is obviously for the family of the victim. You know, we obviously, it's a sad reminder that these things happen, and it's sad that he had to end up this way, but we also want to make sure the officer's okay too, because he's pretty upset about it.
So it's maybe probably a little bit, maybe a little bit cart for the horse, but you know, the construction crews in the area were reported missing a guy, or the guy didn't show up today or anything like that. So
We haven't heard.
crazy.
I don't think, I mean, his car was a nicer car, and I know you're going to ask me what kind of car it was. I don't remember. It was like a little SUV. But, you know, it looked like he had a fishing gear in there, and, you know, he may have been, I think the officer maybe said he was discussing about how he was going to go fishing, but I don't know where he was going to go fishing. But I think, again, I don't know where he was from. Yeah.
You guys had 2 officers injured in a plane crash earlier this year, and now this situation. It seems like the department doesn't really have too much going on all the time.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a rougher year. What's kind of the feeling in the department right now?
Well, listen, you know, the 2 officers that were injured, that affects us manpower-wise, number one. They're both severely injured, and they're coming back, and they're making a comeback. And thank you for asking about them, because that was heartbreaking for us. But they survived the plane crash, so that's something. But you know, now, and of course, now this officer will be on administrative leave until we discover what occurred. That could take weeks, maybe a month or 2, and so we're going to have to shift manpower and get us back out and make sure that we're fully covered out here. But thanks for asking about those 2. They're doing better. I think they're going to make a full recovery, pretty much. Yeah.
How many officers do you guys have altogether?
26. There's 26 of us altogether.
Well, yeah, you've grown. I think you're what, one of the fastest growing cities, if not the fastest.
Yeah, December 2020 census said that we were the fastest growing city in Texas. So we got to keep up with that. So
How long has this officer been on the force?
2 years. No experience, no previous experience.
So this is his first job in law enforcement?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. He went through the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Department Academy, and then I think he worked for them maybe as a detention, I believe, but I don't think he's had any police experience. So this is his second year of police experience. Yeah.
Forgive me for this question, it might be a little early to tell, but did he hit the tree so hard that impact could have caused his death?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, we obviously have to do an investigation. We feel like he was shot. We did see some injuries to him that are reflective of a gunshot wound. Again, the officers applied pressure and tried to save the man, but unfortunately he passed. Yeah.
If you don't want to be live at 4, I guess.
All right. Everybody good? Thank y'all.
Captain, thank you, sir.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, guys. I'm sorry we had to do like this again. I'd rather do the alligator stories.
We have to do like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and